Right, I'm going to use my phone again because apparently the audio is better until I can get a better mic going on my computer. So I'm just going to try to do a quick run over on gold and silver. So, with gold, the target from sort of 1840, we had a trade go up to 1881. And that was just this level here, this liquidity grab. As you can see, on the smaller time frame, we did sort of move a fair bit around that area, have a bit of resistance and such. So, sort of up there, 86 down to 68. We had this prior trade, 64 down to 30. It's caught some trades, but it certainly has pushed up higher than I anticipated. On the daily we rejected, we were getting tight, and then we rejected here at this 64. So I was basically, my confirmation for that being a top or a local top was if is on the daily if this lower trend line broke. So we rejected up here, and then we'd gone a little bit above it with the wick, and then we rejected, and that basically needed to close below this trend line for that to be confirmed as sort of a local top in terms of, maybe some sort of correction like this, some sort of bigger correction, right? So we didn't get that. Price kept pushing. 1880 was the next level. Obviously had a bit of movement around there. That was that top. We busted through on the daily. And one sec, pause this. Okay, I just had a big break. I'm not sure where exactly I was up to. Had someone come to the house, but look, I guess I'll just go on moving forward. So, had those levels, and it's just looking now like there's only sort of one, like the daily broke through, and then it has wiped all bearish divergence. But there was hidden bear here, and then that's gone up, and it's there's still some hidden bear. If we look on, as this has come up into this supply zone, it has dumped. So we've gone up into there, and then we've started to sort of come down. So a bit of a wick there. I don't trade candlestick patterns because they can just be manipulated. But going into this heavy supply zone, it's not surprising that we're getting a bit of a pullback. If you look on the 12, I think the 12 and the 8 hour, we're starting to break. We're breaking this trend line, and the 12 hours got a bit of a trend as well, which a bit sharper, but I wouldn't really use that trend line, to be honest. But the 8 hour is certainly a trend you could use. We're starting to break that. We had sort of, if you go down on the lower TF, you've got this contracting correction here, right? So leg off the top, impulsive wave off the top, and then you've got, label it what you want. I don't really label, but it's a corrective wave in here, and it's a contractive corrective wave, and now we've broken south of that, and subsequently sort of bearishly retested it just here. So it's breaking the 8 hour. It's got that. There's a lot of signs that this is going to have a decent leg down, right? If we take, just an idea to get a target, obviously, below these lows, but there's liquidity all below all these lows, right? And that's the thing. So if we're starting the big move down, there's we've got the liquidity, but there's all this whole sort of almost near parabolic move up. It's just been going straight up, not parabolic, but trending up very, very in a large way. So if you sort of go down to the 1 hour, and we chuck on, like, let's just say, just an easy way to get a target, we can just chuck on a fib, see what that lines up with. I don't really use fibs that much, but sometimes they come in handy. because it's going to go to 1-1, 1618, go to 2618. You're better off using other things to get your targets, but it helps with a couple of targets. It's more I more do it on wave action and session timing. But yeah, certainly under these lows could be a first target for a take profit area. And then we've sort of got a little bit of demand here. So certainly under here, and then if not in this area. But you know that when gold dumps, it really can get going. It can really dump. I'll go into silver quickly. So on the higher time frames, they're very similar. So right on this, really getting tight on this RSI. We broke down on the 3-day, and back here I, had this, once we broke this low here, we broke the RSI. That's the leading indicator. Like I say, the RSI is the leading indicator. So, we broke out of that back up here, and then you could ride that all the way down to support, right? And then that subsequently had a good bounce and then rolled over. And this was 18 was my next target, and one day I'll do a video showing that that 18 was my target from up here. I charted that, and subsequently has moved up with a massive move. And I've rode parts of it up. Didn't just take the ride the whole way up, unfortunately. But looking at it now, again, we're in the supply zone, and it's wicking all over the joint. A lot of wicks here. So, breaking out of that 3-day, I think there's a potential that we just topped out. Absolutely. It's been pushing. You've got sort of hidden bear. What have we got on the weekly? You've got your hidden bear. We did break out again. This is what I'm talking about with RSI being a leading indicator. You've got there's that blue trend line, third touch, and we're off to the races. And then we break the descending trend line and bullishly retest it. And again, that was this black candle here, and then started to move up. And just even off the bullish retest, you can sort of, 14 to 15% move. So, but I do think we're due for a pullback. Look, all the wicks, a lot of supply here. So I do believe, breaking the 2-day there, little bearish retest potentially there on the 2-day, and then the daily break and a bearish retest. So we get, what I'm not saying that it's done. I do believe it's very close, and I think it could be absolutely. And I'll be looking for sell setups, which I've been calling for. But what I wouldn't be doing is necessarily going after the buys anymore. When you've broken things like this, these trends, and you've hit a region like this, not a good idea to be, sort of trying to buy the corrections, you could say. You really need to be a little more careful. So that's my opinion on that. I'll just go back to gold. I think I didn't look at the weekly. Yeah, so there's gold on the weekly, absolute tear. Sort of rejected. See, this is that original level, 1800. That was that rejection there. You had the hidden bear and all that, and it just looked like it might come down. It got very wicky, very up and down, and then we've just been on a tear for some time. But you can see that there is some hidden bear there. So. And a decent sort of move down off the top again after hitting that supply zone. So, I definitely think we could be moving down. Looking at my chart here, I was wanting that one hit lower for this, so I didn't catch gold in terms of like silver, because I wanted that sort of extra hit to the low. But this is what you got to deal with when you're trading these high time frames, and maybe just take what you can get. I think it did hit the 1-to-1 from memory. So yeah, I'm sure it hit the 1-to-1. Well, that's the channel. I'm not going to worry. Anyway, these could be just looking for a retrace. Honestly, that's what I'm probably looking for. But a decent retrace. So here's the monthly. Actually, that's something I'll show you as well. Here's the monthly. I was looking for it to get down to here, which it didn't. But there's that monthly, and we're just retesting this trend line now, and we can certainly reject off that. And then if we look at the silver monthly as well, same sort of scenario. Well, that has broken actually, but that was why it was the long. So that was the chart for the long. Nice big hidden bull. I mean, look at that. It's crazy. So broken back above, but definitely looking for a big pullback. That's how it's looking. Got a GU trade setting up. Looks like news in 2 minutes. News in 2 minutes. See how this plays out. It's dumping before the news. Yeah, I was looking for up here, but it's dumping way before it, which is unfortunate because I really wanted to get that. But we'll see what happens. It might spring up into it. All right.